How to make the audience care about any character? Most writers think you need pages of backstory to make an audience care about a character. You don't. A movie can win your heart in the first 30 seconds if it flips the right switch. Everyone has had this moment. You watch a film, the character has a cool jacket, a tragic childhood, a favorite snack, and somehow you still feel nothing. You're sitting there like, okay, but why should I care? That why should I care feeling usually comes down to two things the script did not lock in early enough: a deep weakness and a clear goal, not a long list of random details. So here's what's inside this video. It's the simple blueprint great stories use to make you care about almost any character: hero, villain, side character, even that random taxi driver who shows up for 12 seconds and somehow steals the whole scene. And once you see it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. The real reason we care. Here's a hard truth from the audience side. People don't care about a character because they have green eyes like coffee or wear a leather jacket. That's not depth. That's a shopping list. What actually hooks an audience is this combo. This person is in trouble on the inside, and they're trying to do something about it on the outside. Think of it like two wires the script has to connect. Wire number one is the goal, what the character is chasing in the story. Stop the killer, pass the exam, save the shop, win the race. Wire number two is the weakness, the inner wound or flaw that keeps messing them up. Fear of being abandoned, need to control everything, belief they're not good enough. When those two wires touch, a spark happens. You don't just watch what they do, you start worrying about what it will do to them. The goal that pulls you forward. When you're watching a movie, your brain loves a clear target. A character has to want something you can see, or the story feels like someone flipping channels with the remote stuck. So in stories that work, the goal is usually, number one, specific. Get my little sister out of this war-torn city. Convince my boss not to fire me today. Win this one stupid local race to prove I'm not washed up. Number two, visible. You can tell when they succeed, you can tell when they fail. If you can't tell, the goal is too blurry. Once the goal is on the table, you lean in without even trying. You start tracking progress like it's a sports game. Closer, further, closer, uh-oh. The weakness that makes it matter. Now the script connects the second wire, the weakness. This is not they're clumsy or they eat too many chips. That's not a weakness, that's normal Tuesday. A real weakness is the thing inside them that quietly ruins their life. And good stories don't just mention it, they make you feel it. Strong weaknesses often sound like lies the character believes. I'm only worthy if I win. Everyone leaves me, so I'll leave first. If I show who I really am, people will hate me. Or they show up as patterns. Pushing people away when they start to care. Lying to avoid conflict. Freezing when it's time to make a choice. Here's the part that makes an audience lock in. The weakness gets in the way of the goal. The runner wants to win but gives up the second they fall behind. The lawyer wants to save a client, but their ego won't let them ask for help. The parent wants to protect their kid but can't admit they're scared. That's when a story becomes more than plot. Because now you're watching someone fight the world and fight themselves at the same time. How the first scene wins you. The best stories don't take 10 chapters to earn your attention. They earn it fast. In movies and shows that hook you early, the first scene usually does three things as quickly as possible. The character says something revealing, a bold joke, a sharp observation, a tiny lie, a tiny prayer. You instantly get a taste of how they think. The character does something that costs them something. They step in to defend a stranger. They cheat on a test. They ignore a ringing phone from someone they can't face right now. The story shows the character's problem. Money stress, loneliness, guilt, shame, fear. It doesn't have to be explained, just felt. When you get those three things early, you're in. Even if the character isn't nice, they feel human, and that's enough. The mistake that kills caring. Here's what makes audiences drift. A script hears weakness and goal, and then dumps it in a giant sad monologue. Or a huge info dump. Or that classic scene where a character explains their trauma like they're reading a Wikipedia page about themselves. You've seen it. A character sits down and tells their whole life story in one scene. The movie pauses for a flashback museum tour. A side character basically says, "You're like this because..." When that happens, the story stops feeling like a story and starts feeling like homework. And nobody buys a ticket to do homework on purpose. Another trap is making the character too perfect to protect them. If they're always right, always liked, always strong, there's nothing to worry about. And if there's nothing to worry about, it's hard to care. How great stories reveal people. So what do good scripts do instead? They don't announce the weakness, they leak it, piece by piece. Here are 3 ways stories do that, and why it works so well as a viewer. Small actions as clues. They flinch when someone raises their voice. They change the subject every time family comes up. They always pick the seat near the exit. Suddenly you're thinking, okay, what happened to them? Choices under pressure. When things get hard, do they run, fight, lie, freeze, sacrifice? That tells you way more than any "I'm scared of commitment" speech. How others see them. One character trusts them. Another calls them selfish. You're stuck in the middle trying to figure out who's right. That's the secret sauce. The audience gets to play detective. And when you build a character in your own head, you attach to them fast. When power becomes the problem. This also explains why overpowered characters can be tricky. If a hero can punch holes in mountains, the plot can feel fake unless something still hurts them. So the best stories take the character's strength and twist it into a new kind of tension. They ask, how does this secretly make life harder? They can heal anyone, but not the one person they lost. They can read minds, but now they can't trust any "I love you." They're the chosen one, but everyone treats them like a tool, not a person. Now the big question isn't, can they win the fight? It's, what does winning cost them as a human being? And when winning has a cost, you feel it in your chest. That's caring. The simple formula. So here's the simple formula you'll see in great films again and again. A clear goal. A deep weakness that blocks it. A visible cost when they chase the goal anyway. Here's what that looks like in practice. The shy teen who wants to win the school talent show. Goal: win the show. Weakness: terrified of being seen, convinced they're a joke. Cost: every rehearsal risks humiliation, but they keep showing up. The crime boss who wants to keep their city under control. Goal: stop a rival gang. Weakness: belief that fear is the only way to be safe. Cost: every victory pushes their own family further away. The burned-out nurse who just wants to finish one quiet shift. Goal: survive the night without a breakdown. Weakness: thinks their feelings don't matter, never asks for help. Cost: they take on extra patience, skip breaks, and you watch the cracks spread. Notice what none of these need. Fancy lore, special hair color, a 10-minute childhood flashback, a Hogwarts house, a perfectly curated favorite sandwich list. They're about a person wanting something specific while dragging a heavy, invisible weight. How to spot it fast. Here's a quick audience test. The next time a movie makes you care, try to identify these 3 things. What do they want right now? What inside them keeps messing it up? What price do they pay to keep going anyway? If a story answers those clearly, you'll usually feel hooked. If it doesn't, you'll feel that cool, but I don't care, emptiness creeping in. And that's why this works for any character. Heroes you love. Villains you hate watch. Side characters you wish had their own movie. Because once a story makes you see a little piece of yourself in them, fear, pride, shame, hope, you're done. You're in. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, subscribe Content Sauna for more movie content.